Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And one of the questions I get most often is, if you could only buy 5 cryptocurrencies for February, which ones would they be? Or in a more general form, I get the question very often, which are the best cryptos or which are the highest likelihood to go pump right now? All those questions I see in my inbox all the time. And the problem with that is, you never really know what exact time period is going to be exciting for what different crypto. And so that's why taking one specific month is really not that simple. What I can tell you guys though is the cryptocurrencies that I'm buying most of this month that I think are going to be extremely exciting over the next couple of months or potentially years, but I'm just focusing on getting as many coins of these as possible. And that's because I have a set system. The way I go about buying my coins is pretty strange to some. Again, I've been in the crypto space for 10 years now, and what I've noticed is my brain functions the best on getting the most amount of coins for one specific crypto, not the most amount of dollars in that crypto. I never think about getting myself $10,000 worth of a crypto. I think mostly in getting myself X amount of those tokens or coins. And that also goes in how I want to accumulate them. I usually look, okay, there's Ethereum. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that I right now were to have, you look at it and like, okay, there's 950 Ethereum. I want to get that to 1,000 Ethereum first before moving on to a different crypto. Or, you buy 50 Ethereum this day, and then you kind of like buy a little bit of XRP to kind of get the balance straight, if you guys understand my drift. Or in smaller proportions, if your goal is to get 1 Ethereum, and for example, 5,000 XRP or so, and 3 Quant, you just kind of measure your buys exactly to get to those levels to, get to round numbers before moving on to a new project. It's just like setting goals for buying cryptocurrency. That's just worked really well for me. Anyway, there are so ridiculously many cryptocurrencies out there. More than 22,000. 22,421 are listed on CoinMarketCap. So which ones exactly are great? In my own opinion, by far the best cryptocurrency for right now, by almost any single means, is Polygon. The amount of positive news I've seen for Polygon throughout the last couple of weeks here has just been mind-bogglingly insane. And I truly think there's not any single crypto that deserves the #1 spot better right now than Polygon. So why exactly is that, you might ask? It is pretty plain and pretty simple. The amount of partnerships they've just gotten is wild. And before I dive into that, I want you guys to comment down below what your #1 favorite cryptocurrency is. And if you agree with any of the coins that I mentioned in this list, make sure you press that like button. But most importantly, put your suggestion to the rest of the people down below. And I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just sharing my top. What you could do for yourself just for fun is type in Polygon partnerships just to get some idea of what's been going on. Most of these articles will state that, they've just been getting themselves a lot of institutional partnerships lately. We recently covered a major VC. In the past, we've covered Reddit, we've covered Starbucks, we've covered Adidas, which you can also read a little bit more about right there. But it goes so much further than that. I think Polygon is kind of going on the route of VeChain, where they don't necessarily want to do these supply chain parts, but mostly loyalty parts of being the main platform for that. And loyalty programs are going to be huge. And so Polygon definitely in the plus right now. And then here's a crypto that does not necessarily have any crazy sort of news for this month, or even last month for that matter. But, and this is also quite important, they've been talked about a lot. And it's been lacking in my portfolio for a little bit. So this month, I'm going to focus more on buying this specific cryptocurrency. And then what I'm talking about is HBAR. When you check through their website, you'll notice there's not the craziest amount of news. I mean, when over in Davos, there was quite a lot of enthusiasm regarding Hedera, and that's because, again, they also have some of the craziest partnerships in crypto, which we've talked about many times in the past. And the fact they got themselves that spot to, again, host this and get their word out so significantly, that's something pretty cool. Again, Hedera HashGraph's technology is very unique, very different than most other cryptocurrencies out there. And so I'd say there's a multitude of reasons as to why I'm so excited, but the three main reasons I'm buying right now, and I'm buying in general. One is it's basically underrepresented in my portfolio. I have a good chunk of HBAR, but again, I have my quota to meet. I have my sections to get to, my targets to hit. So I'm just going to be buying a lot more of HBAR because I still think the price is relatively low right now. Second of all, again, unique technology, and for being a platformer, they're in a very good position. That's why we're also seeing them pretty high up in the rankings, albeit that they're not the mainstream, simple to understand crypto. And third of all is just that major list of partnerships for HBAR. And that's something I recommend you guys to look into yet again. Just type in HBAR partnerships on the internet and you will find it. Third upon the list is something which you guys, if you've been watching my channel for a little while, most likely already knew, but it's going to be XRP. I don't want to make this story too long. Two main reasons. Three, I'd say. One is because of a recent lawsuit that was settled between Library and the SEC. A judge basically revised some small minor details which had to do with secondary market sales. Point being, I personally think it's not going to be too long before XRP gets relisted on exchanges, because why wouldn't it? One thing I'm excited for, so I'm keeping that in the back of my head, but mostly it all relies on the fact that XRP is just going to be done with their lawsuit not too long from now. It's something I'm banking on and I'm bullish on. But third of all, and most important of all, is honestly something that's underrepresented as well. It's the fact that, and by the way, I should quickly add this, XRP is my most bought cryptocurrency nearly every single day. I buy more XRP than I do Bitcoin, than I do Ethereum, than I do anything. Anyway, the fact that Ripple is huge already, and what they're building for XRP is huge, and what's being built by others for XRP is huge, it's not being talked about enough. They have cemented themselves so far into the new financial system. And many people don't understand this just quite yet. Many people don't understand how huge this technology is. And the same thing kind of goes for HBAR, like I just mentioned, but people just don't understand the severity of how big this could become, especially if they get to even if they just get to percentages of goals if they get to a certain small percentage of the goals that they have. So if they just get some teeny-whiny part into the right direction, that's already a crazy amount of money. And you can see right here, Ripple is the only blockchain mentioned, or Ripple's blockchain, mentioned among ACH, RTGS, RTP, Swift, Fedwire, SEPA, and chips. And again, Ripple and XRP are not the same, obviously, but you just have to understand what type of players Ripple, with again being a very big driver of XRP, what type of basket they're in, what type of playing field they're on. You know, they're not playing these little rookie games. No. You can see right here, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, one thing I've been doing is trying to find a different, list of cryptocurrencies that might have some crazy announcements coming up, or they're just exciting that I might have missed out on. And now that we're on the topic, I should also quickly note that if you're still looking for a crypto exchange to trade on, there's always a link right there to Bybit, which is the exchange that I use. You can get some crazy bonuses for trading on there. There's also BitGet, which is just another crypto exchange, but most importantly, there's a link to Binance and BitTrue right there, which is mostly used for spot trading, so for just buying a crypto. And whenever you're using exchanges or using your ledger or using anything on the internet, I always recommend using a VPN, and a link for that is also right there. Just get yourself a VPN. And again, don't use Apple to buy this type of stuff. Buy it on the website. That way it's a lot cheaper. Anyway, like I just wanted to say, what I noticed when checking out all these different websites is that for the most part, whenever I check through, they're either just a very simple, zero brain type of list. Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Tether. So again, I think that they put zero thought into making this article. But most of the time when I check through, I think, these are being sponsored, because take a look at this list right here. I know like 3 of these all these cryptos here. You can see there's links to them because probably these are sponsored type of dog shit, garbage cryptocurrencies. Please, when you see it like this on a list, know it's sponsored. Don't let them get to your head. This list right here looks a little bit more real, with a lot of cryptocurrencies that indeed were trending over the last couple of weeks. Except for this one, I don't know too much about it. But indeed, coins like Aptos and Render, they were crazy trending Optimism is doing amazing today, and DYDX was actually one of the worst performers, but indeed performed well. And that's exactly what they were trying to showcase in this one, just the best performing cryptocurrencies, not the best ones that are going to perform after this. And that led me to a little thought. Now, I don't want to place a curse on you guys right now, but I want to say here, if the bull market comes back, and I should put this here, my number 4, number 5 by far, and that is if Bitcoin kind of like pushes through a little bit, goes above $24,500, it kind of starts pushing, would be more towards like the Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, Luna Classic type of cryptocurrencies, just riskier cryptos. If, however, things remain stable and just kind of continue on like they are doing right now, I personally am putting more of my focus on towards coins that are fundamentally good, like Chainlink. Chainlink is by far one of the best cryptocurrencies out there, most used functionalities out there. And again, if you don't understand, what they provide is this Oracle network. And in simple terms, it takes this data that's in our current technological digital world already, and it basically takes it from there and puts it over onto blockchain readable data. And that is useful for DeFi in every shape, way, or form. Let's say there's a match, a soccer match that happens. To get the outcome of that is one thing, but to transfer that over into some sort of blockchain type of data is a whole different debacle. And that's, again, what these oracles are for. And again, an oracle itself, there's so many of these, but it's mostly about all the infrastructure around it and how exactly you can vote that the data that was perceived is actually real, which is needed for all these interest rate figures and things of that nature. Because if you think about it, one wrong piece of information and you can mess a lot up, especially in DeFi. But then as my 5th, again, this was kind of a hard one because there are multiple different cryptocurrencies that I'm buying heavily, like for example, XDC, a good chunk of Aptos, IOTA, I always love IOTA, and eGold, for example. But the one that I really noticed I'm buying most of this month is also not Algorand, like you guys might have thought, because I talked about it a lot recently. It's actually Quant. I literally am buying more Quant than ever this month. And again, what I'm talking about this month is like, that's what's been going on for a little while, and I know it's going to continue throughout the month of February. And so yeah, it had to be in that list as my number 5 pick right here. It's still pretty cheap. What it does, I've described 1,000 times for you guys, but it's basically a gap bridger between different blockchains. They are the network of networks, and they just focus on interoperability, connecting everything with one another. So in this future system of cryptocurrencies, these blockchains will have to communicate with each other, right? And now to simply put it, Quant basically fixed this missing link to connect all these different blockchains with one another. And again, the efficiency that comes out of this, or the basically progress towards how far we get, is proportional, I guess exponential, I should say, because one blockchain working on its own with another working on its own can only get you so far, but being able to interoperate with one another gets you like 4 times as far. And so yeah, that's just one I've been buying a massive amount of, and will probably continue to do so in February here. And so yeah, simply put, those are my favorite cryptos for February. I'm going to buy the most of those. Bitcoin, ETH are always nice, certainly. And even though I think Bitcoin might be taking some of its dominance back this month, it might be a good crypto to also buy. It's still not going to result in the most amount of gains over the next couple of months. And so yeah, these are the ones that I think are juicy. Let me know your suggestions down below, and understand these are just my own thoughts, not financial advice. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.